All right, so this is a presentation of Robinize, and what Robinize is an SEO content optimization tools that uses AI to help you write content that is going to rank in Google. So it's a tool for example, agencies or freelancers, basically anybody doing any kind of writing that they want to rank in Google for any specific keyword that they want, basically. And as you can see here, when you register an account at Robinize, you're not going to be met by this. I already have a few projects created here, so this is going to be empty for you. But if you want to create a new project, you have this button called New Project. And in our system, a new project represents a new website. So if I click on New Project, I get the options to enter the name of the project, the URL of the project, and I can also choose something that's called a default AI writing persona. Now, as we all know, today we can use AI to help us write certain parts of our content, hopefully not all of it, because Google will penalize us for that. But then when we do want to use the support of AI, we do not want to have the same persona for each and every project. So we have different styles of personas that come out of the box in our system. And you can see those AIs on the left-hand side here. We have what we call the Robinize writers, which are all the ones that come out of the box. And you can also, if you want to get more information about what kind of a writer this is, when you click on this exclamation part here, you can see that Confessional Cassie has a specific style and a specific tone. In the same way that Cynical Cecilia has a specific style and a specific tone. And if you want to create a new style, you can always click on this plus here next to AI writers and give a name for a writing style that you want to create, and then do a combination of the style and the tone so you can create your own type of writer. And in the future, we're going to add many more options to this. So the starting point is, of course, then that you create a new project. And because we already have a few different ones, we're not going to do that. But let's click on one of these that we have here, like for example, the Golden's Club. So this is one of the websites that we want to write articles for that are going to rank. And when we want to write for an article, it always starts with a keyword that we want to rank for. And this is a website about dogs, the Golden's Club. And maybe I don't have an idea, or maybe I do have an idea about what I want to rank for. So I can, for example, here start writing the term that I want to rank for Google, the keyword, and in which Google I want to Google from the United States in the English language. But if I don't have any ideas, then there's always the option to use the keyword research tool. And you can always click on this here. You can go through a wizard to generate a bunch of possible keywords that are worth ranking for. And because this is a website about dogs, I'm trying to look for some keywords that are interesting for that specific topic. And I can also see the volume that these different keywords have, but also the difficulty to rank. So this is on a monthly basis, the volume, and the keyword difficulty is on a scale from 1 to 100, with 100 being the highest difficulty. So for example, maybe I want to rank for the term adult dog breeds. I want to write some content about that. So I can just click on generate here. And now it's generating something. It tells me that the report has started generating. And I can then go back to my project website. I see that this is still going through the process of being analyzed. So what's happening right now is that our tool is going to Google and analyzing the top 20 results for this specific keyword as we're speaking. And then it's going to do a deeper AI analysis of that and come up with a report of what we need to create as far as content. So I'm going to show you how that's worked on one of the reports that I've already created since earlier, like for example, most loyal dog breeds. So what kind of content do I need to write to be able to rank in the Google organic search when somebody enters most loyal dog breeds? Let's click on this. And I'm actually going to remove all of this content that I have since earlier, just so we can start from scratch. So when we look at this report without any content at all, what we can see here is that on the left-hand side here, let me just save this. On the right-hand side here, we have all the different keywords that Google has seen that our competitors are using in their content. And by using these keywords in our content, we have the optimal chance of ranking. So we can see also that there is a score to each and every one of these. So for example, Labrador Retriever, when we talk about most loyal dogs, is something that a ton of our competitors are writing about. We can even see when we hover this H here that a lot of people are using it in H tags. So we can see that, for example, once it was used in an H1 tag, and on 5 occasions it was used in an H2 tag. If I also want to know how our competitors use this in their content, I can click on this, and then I can click on show examples. And here I have the exact information about how our competitors use it in H tags. And I also have information that the #1 ranking website for this topic used this, and I can see exactly where they used it in their content. So as you can see, I can also open up the #2 ranking and see how they used it. This can also be used for inspiration, so I can have a better idea of how I can use it in my own content. And the same goes for each and every one of these terms. And what I have, with the exception of this, is also an inspiration tab. The inspiration tab gives me information about, you know, that part that comes at the top of Google, which is kind of like the frequently asked questions that people also ask in Google. So you get an immediate answer to a question. Well, these are those questions. So which dog is the most loyal dog? Which dog breed is most loyal and protective? So these are the questions that are connected to this specific keyword. And I can always click on this button here and enter that here and kind of make perhaps an H2 tag of this and so on, and start writing content about that. I also have the outlines of my competitors, so I can get full information about how my competitors have outlined their content, all the top 20 ranking results. And I can also, when I click on the SERP, get information about how good their content is. So I can see here for that, for example, the #1 competitors has written 1,000, almost 200 words on this topic. And they really have good content. So based on our estimation, they have a 10 out of 10. And this score is essentially based off of how many of these key terms that their content actually contains. So that's how we evaluate these results and these scores that we give to our competitors. And we're going to evaluate ourselves in accordance to that as well. But say we want to start writing content for ourselves right now, and our AI writer by default is Defensive Dylan for whatever reason. Let's start writing some content. So when I click on AI Outliner, I can actually use this tool to first help create an outline and then start filling it with content. So I'm going to click on this right here. And as you can see, I already have used this earlier, but I'm going to clear everything here. So I'm going to click on the clear button. Yes, remove everything. And now I'm going to start from scratch. And this is what it looks like. What this page allows me to do is to see how my top 20 competitors, and they're ranked on the left-hand side here, what topics have they covered and in which parts of their content. So for example, I can see that the #1 competitor, in their early topics, they covered questions like why is the Jack Russell Terrier listed as a loyal companion breed, for example. And I can use this in my own content because I can click on this plus here, and I can, for example, make an H3 tag of that, or I can make an H2 or H4 tag out of that. And I also immediately get a title for this specific question. And if I click on generate here, what this is going to do is that it's going to generate content that answers this specific question for my content as well. And the question is, why is the Jack Russell Terrier listed as a loyal companion breed? So let's try this. I click on generate, and it asks me, how complex do I want my text to be? And our system has already identified that our competitors are on a level which is 5. So that sounds great. I'm going to leave it at that. Click on generate. Now the AI is going to do its bit. Let's see how this is going to look. And there we have it. We have some content that is generated specifically for this question. So I have both the title and all the content that was generated with this. But say, for example, I don't have the time or the energy to go through all of these competitor questions and create my own outline. What I can do is to use this AI tool, which generates an outline for me based off of all of these questions that it's seen that my competitors are answering. So if I click on this, generate, do I want it to generate? Sure, go ahead. We'll give it a minute. It's going to get there. And there we have it. Now I have an outline from start to bottom. And as you can see, it's pretty big. So I might not want to answer all of these different questions. Like, for example, how do Chihuahuas show their loyalty to their owners and so on? But maybe I do. It's also worth noting that maybe I don't like the structure, the order of this. I can always move the order. So move something from one topic to another. And again, I can make something an H2 tag or an H4 tag so that it's a subsection to something different and so on. And I'm going to remove a few of these. Like, for example, I don't like this one. I don't like this one, just to make it a little bit shorter. And then when I feel like I have a total outline that I kind of like, the way that it's set up, then I'm going to use the generate button that we used earlier to actually create some content, to have a starting point that I can work further on. So let's click on generate here. And this is going to take a little bit of time because there's quite a lot of content to fill out here, but let's click on it. Let's do generate. Let's go. It's going to get there. Don't worry about it. So as we can see already in the background, some content is coming up. So here with this, I have a starting point. And what I can do here is that I can click on this button, which is a copy button. And it's going to ask me what I want to do. Do I want to copy all of this to my editor? And be careful with this because this is going to remove all the earlier text that you have since before, if you've written some text before. Or you can always just click to copy clipboard and then paste this somewhere else. But I'm going to click copy to editor because I don't have any content there anyway. So when I click on that, it copies all of this content here, and I have a starting point as far as the type of content that I have in my article. And what's interesting here is that it's already actually covered a ton of the different keywords that I needed to use in my content, because you see a lot of these keywords are already highlighted with a green background, and that's because these were the keywords that were expected to be used from the right hand side here. And as you can see, just by doing that outline generator, I've already covered 32 of 50 keywords that I was expected to use for this specific topic. And then I can always, of course, continue writing here and start changing content. And quite honestly, if you're serious about writing, that is probably what you should be doing. So you can always write in general, and you have your editor options here, but you also have an AI feature in here in your editor. So for example, say I'm perhaps not happy with this specific part. I can always click on this button here, which is an AI tool within here, which allows me to have a few different features of what I can do with the content here. For example, I can say that I want to expand on this bit, or I want to make it shorter, or I want to check the grammar that I've written here, summarize it, rewrite it in a different way. I'm, for example, going to say click on expand content. And the AI is sending this back, and hopefully we're going to have something cool come out of this. And there you have it. And I also want to say that even when you're in the AI outliner, you can use a feature similar to that here. If you click on this, use AI to write your content. And if you're not happy with the content that it generated here, you can always give feedback to the specific content that came here when you read it to say, I want you to do something different with it. So here you can write explicit text what you want it to do for you, and then it will do that and save it like that. If you just are in general not happy with it, you can just click on the button, regenerate text entirely. So now we have some content here, and let's imagine that I've edited this content and it's something that we're happy with. It's an article that we feel we want to now put out on our website. We can do that very easily. We have an integration with WordPress, and this website is already connected to WordPress, and there's a simple process to get to that. But basically what our tool allows us to do here is to simply click here on these three dots, and then I can click on publish, and I can publish directly from here to my WordPress website. I can also see publish history, so I can publish multiple times, but then see over time what kind of publishings I was making, and perhaps also then compare that to some rankings for my content over time. When I click on publish here, it allows me to do different things, publish a new post or override an already existing, right? You saw I have invalid CMS credentials, so I haven't connected this properly. But when you do, you can always click on this select post to see all the posts that you have since from before, and then choose to replace one of those posts with one of the contents from here, or create an entirely new post. And last but not least, now that you've published it, obviously over time you want to also track your progress. So you don't want to just put something out there and then not know if you're performing for that specific keyword. So you can always click on this track button, and it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to track this? And you're just going to click on yes here. One example for one of our websites where I can show how that feature works is, like, for example, on our agency website Zendev. We can see here my current ranking for the specific keywords that we want to rank for here. So this is in Swedish. It says IT companies in Gothenburg, and we are ranking number 17 in Gothenburg for this. And I can even click on this and get the rankings over time. So if I can click on the last 6 months, and I can see how my rankings have behaved over the last 6 months. And maybe I can also then see that once I did some of my publishing, I got different results. So these are some of the features that we have right now. Robinize is still an evolving product, but it is the idea to be the ultimate co-pilot for people that are writing content, whether it be writing as a freelancer or an agency writing for your clients, or you just creating your own websites where you want to create blog posts that rank. That's that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the time, and please go to our website, robinize.com. And if you want to book a demo to talk about this more, we would be happy to do that. Take care. Bye-bye.